On Monday, China sent 56 fighter planes toward Taiwan in the largest show of force on record. This continues days of sustained military harassment against the self-ruled island. The U.S. president sent his national security advisor for talks with a senior Chinese foreign policy advisor. Meanwhile, a group of French senators has arrived in Taiwan for a 5-day visit led by a former defense minister. On Wednesday, Taiwan's defense minister said the situation has become the worst it has been in 40 years. This as the country's legislature debates approving a special defense budget. China claims democratically ruled Taiwan as its own territory to be brought under its control by force if necessary. The two split apart amid civil war in 1949. Well, with us to discuss this matter today is Dr. Charles Burton, Senior Fellow at the Macdonald-Laurier Institute. Sir, welcome back to Forum Daily.
It's good to speak with you, Nima.
Now, let's start with a quick overview of what has been happening between China and Taiwan in recent days.
Well, as you said in your introduction, the Chinese have been particularly aggressive towards Taiwan in sending in large fighter planes, designed to menace and intimidate the people of Taiwan. And I think to give some assurance to people in the People's Republic of China that the government in Beijing is still committed to restoring Taiwan to the embrace of the motherland, as they put it. From the People's Republic of China point of view, Taiwan is a renegade province run by an illegitimate regime, whereas the government of Taiwan was brought to power by a free and fair election, democratic election last year, and enjoys the overwhelming support of the people of Taiwan, nearly all of whom, according to polls, do not identify as Chinese and do not want their island to be controlled by an autocratic one-party regime in Beijing. They prefer freedom and democracy, which is the way that things are being run in Taiwan by the current Democratic People's Party government. So, it's a very troubling situation if China decides that they will take Taiwan by force.
And this increased military pressure started on Friday, which was China's National Day. So what kind of message is Beijing trying to send to Taiwan through this?
Well, there are problems in the Chinese economy at present. There's been a looming failure of an enormous $308 billion primarily construction firm, Evergrande, and other issues in the Chinese economy due to increasing Chinese government intervention in economic activity to promote social goals, Chinese communist social goals. So I think that by engaging in very aggressive action against Taiwan, it does distract the concern of the Chinese people over the prospect of a failing economy and put them more into an aggressive nationalist mode, expecting the potential for war with Taiwan, which of course would become the dominant issue in China, not what's wrong with the economy. So, this sort of thing goes on and not infrequently in China, where there are problems internally and they attempt to rally public support by engaging in strong action against Taiwan. But this is really unprecedented in its ferocity. And I think that's why so much of the global community is very concerned about where this may lead.
All right, sir, just about a minute and a half here. But speaking about the global community, considering that Taiwan split from China in 1949, why have most countries not established diplomatic ties with Taiwan yet?
Well, most of the countries had diplomatic ties with the regime on Taiwan, which was the former nationalist regime at the time that was ruling all of China and then lost the Civil War in 1949. And so, for example, Canada recognized the Republic of China and then was obliged to withdraw recognition when we established relations with the People's Republic of China in 1970. But now I think a lot of countries are looking at Taiwan as a de facto independent democracy and thinking that perhaps we should establish and recognize that regime as a legitimate regime representing the aspirations of the people living there on the basis of the self-determination of peoples. And that, unfortunately, hastens the People's Republic of China, Chinese Communist regime, to settle this matter through military force if they can.
All right, Dr. Burton, definitely we'll have to keep an eye on this dispute here, but thank you again for joining us today on Forum Daily and giving us your insight.
Good to speak with you.